e te tuahine. Tēnā koe, mōrena.
Ai, tēnā koe. Tēnā koutou.
He rā a tāhua tērā e te whanunga. Over 1,000 people attended the opening of the new whare hui, new whare kai and whare tuko out at known as Matangiro, but I spoke to the kaumātu the other day and he talked about Touwai was the original name of that wahi.
Yes, it has always been to us Te Touwai. When we look at our land blocks, all of the whenua is called Te Touwai. And a long time back now, the government and the postal issues that was happening with Te Touwai and Touwai down near Kawakawa was confusing the male people at that time. So they thought they'd call us Matangiro, which is out in the harbour, and bring that name up and put it there for that reason. And over the weekend, we had Pihopa Kito raise the name of Matangiro and put it back to where it should go and reinstate the true name Te Touwai. So that's a process in itself. However, it has began. So now we just follow on and follow through with reinstating the name, which is exciting.
Tēnā koe e te tuene. I know we've all got fond memories of the old kota back in the day when they'd pull those big logs inside. We had a kupapa here in Mangamoka. They used to actually tow the logs in with a horse, and that became the ahi for the entire hui. We've got fond memories of those days, eh?
Aye. Even with our kota, the same thing, was exactly the same thing. Put a big log in there and burn it down until it's completed. Also, bringing up the water from the awa. My dad had fond memories of that, and our tupuna who are not here with us today used to always talk to us about those times and how grateful they are now that we can just turn on a tap.
I take it those were real hearty times, and those were times where that true connection happened because it was actually the way it was. You had no other choices back in those times, there.
Aye. And now we're looking at, how we get cleaner water. I'm not sure they had had that type of science back then. However, their mātauranga was telling them their wai was clean then, wasn't inundated with what we have today.
So what were some of your highlights for the special opening, e te whananga?
Oh, a traffic jam in the middle of Te Touwai.
Okay.
We had kia tūpato on our roads doing our traffic management plan. Then we had Tautokito Border Control there doing, orchestrating our people and getting them in to the car parks in an orderly and safe fashion. So from the get-go, seeing how many people were coming into the valley was just overwhelming. We knew it was going to be big. We just didn't know how big, but we measured on estimate, up to around about 1,500 people. And when you're in a small area, logistics is everything. But to see people from far and wide, well, who I hadn't seen in years, who had been following our Facebook page and our updates on the build itself was overwhelming. I'm still sort of reflecting on it today as to who came and the manaakitanga they brought with them. It was just beautiful. All in all, beautiful.
Tēnā koe whananga. I saw some photos, some vids. That was closest we got to be part of that kaupapa. We had something else happening here at home, but looks like they're having a great time. A reunion for the older generation as well, but also seeing the new generation there together.
Yes, absolutely. This korero around rebuilding our whare, I think it was roughly around about 69 years ago. Don't quote me on that, but it's around about that time that the conversation started down in Auckland, actually, about rebuilding our whare. And it took that long for us to get to the position we're in now due to so many barriers and pūtea, and then to have a fund designed for marae to rebuild, and that was through Oranga Marae, and then to be backed also by Foundation North and other contributors that came along, Te Puni Kōkiri, whānau. Our whānau actually fundraised for years in order for us to have a little bit of leverage and a bit of pūtea to get the first part done. So there's been a lot of hands that have um, made this dream come true. And now that it's here, I see faces. I saw faces that should have been there that are no longer here with us anymore.
Mm.
But to see our people not only in the marae, but also going up to the urupa and spending time with those that started these conversations about building a new marae, was just, it's probably the epic feeling of te ao Māori that I've ever experienced in my life. And would I do it again for the same reasons? Yes. But you've got to have a really good, a good leader. My hat goes off to our chair for persevering. Our people all have different opinions on how things should be done.
Aye.
But to just keep going, and our trustees, there's only five of us that, really dug deep. And even though some of our whānau weren't happy about the way things were done, at the end of the day, we got there, and we had a strong leader push us through that. Matua Roger Kingi, he actually spent every single day down on the building site when it became a building site, and navigated everything that was going on. And my hat actually goes off to him, and to have all the trustees behind him when decisions were being made, to just support. Yes, would challenge some of the korero. However, we got to that solution every time. And it's only with great leadership that you can do that.